Brought to you by Gamezy. Win up to rupees 5 crores every day. Download the app now.
It's a double-header in the IPL, and in the day game, it's going to be Mumbai Indians taking on the Rajasthan Royals. Well, the big news for the Mumbai Indians is that their main man, Surya Yadav, is back, and he'll definitely be playing this game. So I'm assuming that Surya Yadav will come in for somebody like Anmolpreet Singh. So that's one change that will be happening for sure. But let's get right into it. Let's talk about the budget buys first. Among the budget buys for the Mumbai Indians, you saw Basil Thampi taking 3 wickets in the last game. Apart from him, even Murugan Ashwin had a good outing. He took 2 wickets for 14 runs. So these two are obvious choices among your budget picks. Apart from these two, there's another guy who impressed me a lot, and that was Tilak Verma. Even though he scored only 22 runs, he was so good that I think he can again be in your side, and you can probably pick him in your 11 as well. For the Rajasthan Royals, we know Yashasvi Jaiswal had sort of a decent game. You thought you would get more from him, but he scored 20 runs off 16 balls, if I'm not wrong. So Jaiswal could be a pick because he looked in good touch, even though he got out trying to hit those big shots. And apart from Yashasvi Jaiswal, Prasidh Krishna also impressed one and all. He took 2 wickets in the power play overs, was almost unplayable at times. And if he's available for 8.5 credits, you should definitely have him as one of your budget buy as well. Overseas options. Well, let me start with Rajasthan Royals first. We know that Josh Butler will play for sure. Shimron Hetmyer will play for sure. And then you have Trent Bolt. These 3 will definitely be in their 11. But apart from this, Nathan Coulter-Nile, who played the last game, had to go out because he was injured, even though he gave away a lot of runs as well. So now they have to get a replacement in place for Nathan Coulter-Nile if he's not fit enough. And who are those replacements? Well, there's Daryl Mitchell, there's Jimmy Neesham, and there is Obed McCoy. Among these 3, I think Jimmy Neesham will have the best chance of making it to the 11 because he provides you with that all-round option. He can bowl those 4 overs also, and he can also give you extra betting depth. So that is it for the Mumbai Indians. Well, they also played 4 overseas players, and those were, Kieron Pollard played, Daniel Sams played, then there was Tim David who played, and of course, Timmel Mills was also the 4th one. But the problem with the Mumbai Indians last game was that Daniel Sams gave away a lot of runs. He went for 57 runs in his 4 overs. So I'm not too sure whether they'll again pick him for this 11. If they do pick him for this game, it'll probably be his only chance. If he gives away runs again, he probably won't make it to the 11 in the next game. But if they decide that they don't want to have Daniel Sams in the side, I think they have a couple of options that they can look at. Riley Meredith is there. He again brings a lot of pace, so he can be one choice. And then there is Fabian Allen. So if you want that spin option instead of a pace option in Daniel Sams, you can look at Fabian Allen as well. So those were your overseas options. Captaincy choices. Captaincy choices, we know we always talk about the 3 here are big captaincy choices. You can make them captain, vice captain. It all depends on you. Ishan Kishan scored 81 runs, unbeaten 81 runs in the first match. So Ishan Kishan is again going to be a big choice for a lot of people. Rohit Sharma always gets a lot of takers when you think about making him as captain. He also looked impressive, but his strike rate wasn't that high, and maybe this game he'll come good. But for me, my favorite among the 3 is Surya Yadav, because Surya Yadav in the last couple of years has shown why he deserved that place in India's T20 international side. He has made that number 3, number 4 spot his own. He'll definitely play even the World Cup going by his current form, and the way he was playing before he got injured. He can be your captain as well. There's another one. Jasprit Bumrah can also be one that you can pick. He's India's best T20 bowler after all. But with Jasprit Bumrah, we have to understand in the last game, he went for a few runs. If I'm not wrong, he went for some 43 odd runs in 3.4 overs. That last over he was bowling and he was being smashed. So maybe because he is that bowler with the pedigree in Mumbai Indians side, he can be a good choice. Apart from that, Rajasthan Royals. Two obvious choices, like with the Mumbai Indians, two obvious choices right here. Sanju Samson was phenomenal in the last game. That no-look six that he hit, over deep mid-wicket, I was so impressed. I was floored by that six. Josh Butler, again, he had a life, was dropped once. He had a life where Bhuvneshwar Kumar had bowled a no-ball when he was caught. But still, he only managed 33 runs. But with Butler, you know what you get. That guy, if he gets firing, he can win you games single-handedly. So these two, again, big choices. Trent Bolt is somebody who I look at because I'm really fond of him as a player, as a bowler. He gets you those wickets in the power play. And even with that Prasidh Krishna pairing that they have at Rajasthan Royals, it was Trent Bolt's first over that probably set the tone for them in the last game. So Trent Bolt again is a good choice because he takes a lot of power play wickets. But ensure, if you think about Trent Bolt as your captain, if you take a punt on Trent Bolt as a captain, make sure you are not picking somebody like Rohit Sharma or Ishan Kishan as your vice captain. Because you have to understand that if Trent Bolt is getting wickets in the power play, it'll be either of them who will get out. So you have to think on those lines. So that is it, guys. That is for Mumbai Indians Rajasthan Royals game. These were your top fantasy picks. And now it's time to look at the others. There's another game in the evening, which is the Gujarat Titans versus the Delhi Capitals. Both teams coming off victories. And let me get right into who should be your budget buys. Budget buys. See a lot of Delhi players impressed in that first game. Khalil Ahmed took 2 wickets for 27, looked in great bowling form. Apart from that, the man of the match, Kuldeep Yadav, took 3 wickets and deservingly got the player of the match award, and he can again be a good pick for you guys among your budget buys. But another guy who I really want in my side for this game is Lalit Yadav. Lalit Yadav will give you those 2 overs. He bowled 2 overs because Kamlesh Nagarkoti went for a lot of runs. So Lalit Yadav bowled 2 overs for 15 runs. Even though he did not pick a wicket, there's still a chance that he might pick a wicket in this game. And apart from that, it's his batting. He batted at number 5 for the Delhi Capitals. So he was definitely put up in the order from last season. And he also scored 48 runs. So Lalit Yadav can be a great buy when it comes to keeping your budget lower so that you can have players like Rishabh Pant, Prithvi Shaw in your side. So make sure you have somebody like Lalit Yadav, Khalil Ahmed, or even for that matter Kuldeep Yadav. But apart from these three, now let's look at the Gujarat Titans. For the Gujarat Titans, well, Varun Arun took 2 wickets, but he was expensive and I'm not sure whether he'll play this game. Rahul Tewatia, even though he did not bowl any overs at all, he scored that match-winning 40-odd runs, and I think he's again a big pick, considering that if he bowls those 2 or 3 overs, he can give you a lot of bonus points if he picks 1 or 2 wickets. He gives you batting, he gives you bowling. So these two are the options I was looking at. But Varun Arun, even though I am saying that he can be one of your choices, the problem with Varun Arun was that he might not even feature in this game. They might get somebody else for him because he did take 2 wickets, but he went for a few runs as well. Overseas options. Well, the Delhi Capitals played only 2 overseas players last time around. They only had 2 players available. One was Tim Seifert and one was Roman Pal. Tim Seifert, even though he only made 21 runs, looked impressive, will probably feature since David Warner is still not here. Roman Pal will also get a game because they are looking at him in the finisher's role. For the Delhi Capitals, the big thing is that 2 players are available now, and that's Lungi Ngidi and Mustafizur Rahman, who are both in quarantine. So if these 2 come in, I am expecting a few changes in the side. Kamlesh Nagarkoti will definitely be making way for either of them, and let's see whether they pick both of them or even one of them plays, then they'll come in place of Kamlesh Nagarkoti. So that was Delhi Capitals. And apart from Delhi Capitals, for Gujarat, we know their combinations are set. They had 4 overseas players available from the first game itself, and I think all 4 will play again in this game. Matthew Wade opened the innings, so he'll be there. David Miller was in the middle order, and then those 2 bowlers who I'm really fond of, I really like them, Lockheed Ferguson and Rashid Khan. Lockheed Ferguson did not pick a single wicket but gave away only 24 runs, and with his pace, I'm sure he's going to trouble a lot of batsmen. Rashid Khan, again, if not the best T20 bowler in the world, I don't know who who else can take that position, because Rashid is unbelievable. He doesn't give away too many runs, even though he gave away a few runs in the last game. But this guy can bat, this guy can bowl, this guy can field as well. So those were your overseas options. Now let's talk about the captaincy choices. Captaincy choices. For the Delhi Capitals, there's one name that always comes to my mind, irrespective of whoever they are playing, and that's Rishabh Pant, their captain. Because this guy can score a lot of runs. He is one of the best in the shortest format, and he can smash, every bowler out of the park. Those one-handed six, I just love them. So Rishabh Pant is probably my favorite choice among the Delhi Capitals players who can be your captain. Even Akshar Patel, for that matter. Last game again, he scored very crucial runs, 48 not out if I'm not wrong, and he hardly took any balls to score them. Bowled 4 overs as well, did not take any wickets, but this guy can bowl 4 overs. He's again a gun fielder, and when he comes lower down the order, he can smash those big hits. So Rishabh Pant and Akshar Patel, my 2 top choices for captain's role in the Delhi Capitals. Talking about Gujarat Titans, well, I only have 2 people who I can think of. Yes, Rashid Khan is there, but probably Rashid Khan, you need more from him in terms of batting contributions if you really want to think about making him as captain. But the guy who I'm looking at, the guy who I think will make the difference for Gujarat Titans this season if they are to go to the playoffs, and that's their captain Hardik Pandya. The man bowled 4 overs, even though his 3rd and 4th overs were a little on the expensive side. He bowled those first 2 overs and I was like, oh, he's bowling again and he's bowling well. And then when he came out to bat, he batted at number 4, scored quite a few runs. Not quite a few runs, probably 33 runs are not a lot, but 33 runs where he looked in sublime touch. His strike rate wasn't that high, but what we saw from Hardik Pandya in that first game definitely makes him a hot pick as your captain for this game. So that's it, guys. That is all for the double header on Saturday. And make sure you make your team on Gamezy, because you can win so many prizes, more than 5 crores in daily prize money. And then you can make your team before the game starts. You can make your team before the second inning starts, and you can make those teams 5-a-side teams for those 5 over blocks as well. So what are you waiting for? Download the Gamezy app in the description below, make your team and win lots of money. Thank you for watching.